breezes blow through the woods in springtime, roots drink deep from the wakened earth. Young leaves shine in the quickening sunlight, dance the song of the New Year's birth. The dance goes on and is never ending. The circle turns and the singer sings. The year turns round, but the wood in springtime does not care what the winter brings. The dance goes on and is never ending. The circle turns and the singer sings. The year turns round, but the wood in springtime does not care what the winter brings. When the leaves are long in the days of summer and the light drifts through them cool and green, the great trees stir in their dreaming sleep and sing slow tales of the years they've seen. The dance goes on and is never ending. The circle turns and the tale unfolds. The year turns on, but the wood is summer has no thought for the winter's cold. The dance goes on and is never ending. The circle turns and the tale unfolds. The year turns on, but the wood in summer has no thought for the winter's cold. Blackberry, hazel and elderberry hang heavy and bright in the shortening days. Bright as a banner, the autumn leaves burn red in the old sun's dying rays. The dance goes on and is never ending. The circle turns and returns again. The year burns on and the wood in autumn gathers itself for the winter's pain. The dance goes on and is never ending. The circle turns and returns again. The year burns on and the wood in autumn gathers itself for the winter's pain. When winter bites and the leaves have fallen, through the hawthorn cold winds run, through dwindling days the cool-leaved holly keeps safe the memory of the sun. The dance goes on and is never ending. The circle turns and the singer sings. The year burns low, but the winter wood still holds.
Díomh Corja, Banachthí na Hauna Díomh Galer. Hi friends and welcome. Welcome to our online Samhain ceremony brought to you by the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids. So let me know where you're from. This is our final, this is the completion of our first Wheel of the Year online ceremonies, and having started at the winter solstice last December. So it's lovely to be able to have had a complete circle, Wheel of the Year online. And as we look across the circle, we know that our Druid brothers and sisters in the Southern Hemisphere are celebrating Bealtaine. So Bealtaine blessings to those in the Southern Hemisphere and Samhain blessings to all of us in the Northern Hemisphere. Somebody's from Finland, welcome. Australia, okay, glad that you're here. And Albuquerque, Michigan, Hertfordshire, Brittany, very welcome. Southern California, Newcastle upon Tyne, Shetland, okay, very nice. Canada, Boonville, North Carolina, London. Where else are people from? Oxford, Durango, Colorado, Tucson. So many from the States. It's just wonderful. Belfast, lovely. Oxford, Pennsylvania, Toronto. Great. Anyway, you're all so welcome to this, our online ceremony. So it's evening time here, 7 o'clock here in Kilkenny. So it's morning time. And I know very early in the Southern Hemisphere, and I suppose early afternoon in across the Atlantic. So let me introduce our Samhain ceremonies brought this evening by the Mystic River Grove in the US. So I'm going to bring them on one by one.
Greetings. My name is Rick McKinney. I'm from west of Boston, where the Stop River Marshes meets the Charles River.
Hello, I'm George Maple. I am from Worcester, down the street from Hadwin Arboretum.
You need to unmute.
Sorry. My name is Dawn Jackson. I'm coming to you from the Green Mountains of Vermont.
Hello, my name is Gwaine Nighthawk. I'm coming to you from the Golden Valley of the Merrimack Valley in Manchester, New Hampshire.
And I'm Blake Octavian Blair, also here in the Merrimack Valley of Manchester, New Hampshire, just up the hill from the Merrimack River itself.
Greetings and blessings. I'm Jada Willard, joining you from farmland along the Quinnipiac River, also known as the Charles River, just outside of Boston.
Hello, I'm Douglas Cowell. I'm in Swampscott, up the hill from the Nahant Bay, right next to Salem, Massachusetts.
I'm Tom Turk, North Shore, Boston. I'm perched on the ledges where the Mystic River enters the Atlantic Ocean. I'm a bard. I'm almost done, and I'm really inspired by the Order's commitment to environmental action and public green spaces.
Hello, my name is Christian Brunner. I'm originally from Austria, but have lived here in the United States for about 20 years now, a little bit more. I live just outside of Boston. Actually, down the street from me is the Mystic Lake, along which the Mystic Street goes, which we offer, turning into the Mystic River Parkway. And as such, I'm also, and we are all members of the Mystic River Grove. I wanted to also introduce the Grove a little bit. It was founded in 1992 as the Boston Grove, as a seed group, actually. One of the founders, Dara Furo. Many of you might have actually read the astrological contributions that she made to the Quercy. She's our Grove mother, one of the founders. Another founder was James Street. Some of you might have read Christopher Street's, his brother's books about geographic magic, and Sarah's friend Judith. They're all still members of the Grove for almost 30 years now. And as such, we are, one of the longest standing groves in OBOD. And on our Facebook page, we are about 270 members, but 100 of those members are really the core, I would say. And I think one of our biggest Albert-Athon event was 2 years ago, 2019, when about 60 people showed up for the ritual. And one very important thing that Sarah wanted me to relate, all of our rituals are done outside. And we went back and we had only 3 times when it rained, one of which was the Samhain ritual last weekend. So with that said, that's our Grove. And on behalf of our Grove, of the whole OBOD community, I would like to ask the Herald to commence the Samhain ritual.
By the power of star and stone, by the power of the land within and without, by all that is fair and free, we welcome you to this ritual celebrating the end of summer, the commencement of the dark half of the year, Samhain.
We welcome you who are joining in from north and south, east and west, over this land and all lands on this planet.
The earth, the sea, and the sky have guided and inspired each one of us to gather in this virtual space during this sacred time of Samhain. To deeply connect with the 3 realms, let us draw in the 3 essential breaths. One for the earth beneath us as she prepares to withdraw into darkness. One for the sky, spanning its endless blue dome over us, giving way to the mist of autumn. and one for the deep sea and all of the bodies of water around us, darkened by the cold of the season.
With the blessings of the land, the sky, and the sea, may our ceremony begin.
O gods and goddesses, we greet you and we honor you, and we ask for your blessings on this our ceremony. O spirits of the many lands represented in this virtual circle, O ancestors in blood and spirit, we ask for your blessings, your guidance, and your inspiration for this our ceremony.
Let us begin by sending peace to the quarters, for without peace can no work be.
May there be peace in the north. May the denseness of rock strengthen our persistence, endurance, and resistance.
May there be peace in the south. May the heat of the fire warm our bodies and fill our heads with inspiration.
May there be peace in the west. May the fluency of water fill our three cauldrons with intuition, emotion, and wisdom.
May there be peace in the east. May the lightness of air inspire the sharp swords of our minds. May there be peace throughout the whole world.
Let us now recite this prayer that unites all Druids. Grant, O Spirit, thy protection, and in protection, strength, and in strength, understanding, and in understanding, knowledge, and in knowledge, the knowledge of justice, and in the knowledge of justice, the love of it, and in the love of it, the love of all existences, and in the love of all existences, the love of spirit and all goodness.
Let us now chant the sound of poetic inspiration.
Let all disturbing thoughts be laid aside.
The circle of our lives, the circle of our horizon, of our lands, of time and of the year, of seasons and of growing, of dying and of rebirth. As this worldwide circle is cast, the enchantment of the apparent world subsides. We are joined here in this virtual realm, either under the light of the sun at any point on its arch through the firmament, or by the dim light of the small sickle of a 2 days old moon. Here, anywhere, and now, between past and future, the earth below us, the heavens above us, the trees of the sacred grove around us, this is sacred time, this is sacred space.
Let us now consecrate the circle with water and fire.
May our circle be purified and blessed with the element of water.
We gather as equals in our physical form here upon the earth. Each presence is a blessing, and with every breath we breathe life and light into this circle.
Dear friends, north and south, east and west, fellow members of the order and guests, this is the time when you can name any and all of your family or friends who have departed in the past year, either quietly to yourself or, if you so choose, publicly in the chat or comment section of the social media app you are using to watch this right. For them to be honored and remembered, we are going to observe 3 minutes of silence for this process.
Wait, that was too early.
Let us honor the four directions so that their power and radiance might enter our circle for the good of all beings.
We are the edges of the sword of knowledge. We are the breath of air. We are the sound of the silver bell. With feathers light as the hawk of dawns, we soar in the clear blue sky, calling upon the blessings and the powers of the east.
Flames of fire. We are the light that illuminates the darkness. With antlers mighty as the great stags, we chase through the ancient forest, calling upon the blessings and the powers of the south.
We are but drops in the sacred pool. We are the hazel at the water's edge. We are the vessel that holds the truth. With scales shimmering like the salmon's, we leap for the nuts of wisdom, calling upon the blessings and powers of the West.
We are the crumbles of ancient rock. We are the dust of stars. We are the darkness of night. With paws strong as the great bear of the starry heavens, we turn the deep, fruitful soil, calling upon the blessings of the powers of the north.
We are the hawk of dawn. We are the stag in the heat of the chase. We are the salmon of wisdom. We are the great bear of the starry sky. We are the full circle. May the harmony be complete.
O Samhain, my dark lord, what tree is this? I see many a gnarled trunk standing as one, trunks that have sprouted a long, long time ago, before the wind, before the snow. A question, what is its name?
Not hard. It is the yew, O ancient friend. A tree as old as you. The tree of transformation, evergreen, luring us with fruit sweet as honey, yet deadly poison is hidden in its red flesh.
Oh, what a gift, my lord. Our time of rule has come. I can feel it in the air. Let us bring this fruit of transformation to the lady and her consort. Their time has come as well, their time to step through the thinning veil of the mist.
So mote it be, Kaliak. Let us summon the lady of the land, and let us call upon Belenus, the Shining One.
O Lady of Spring, O Lord of Summer, harbingers of life and light, join us in these halls at the edge of seasons.
We heed your call, dark ones. Tired are we, exhausted from bringing forth fruit and corn, life and harvest. May we sit at your table to rest.
By all means, O Shining Ones, be our guests. No visitor shall ever say they left our halls with any want. My lady, a question. How was your journey?
This is not difficult. I walked the land, and whereupon I set my feet, everything grew in abundance. Meanwhile, my beloved consort here accompanied me across the sky, warming my back.
That holds true. My rays tickled the soil like spears of fire for many moons now. But ancient ones, a question. Why did you summon us to your dark, cold halls?
Not hard. The time of darkness has set in. The mists roll over the hills and caress the leafless branches of the trees. I can already smell the snow. We have a gift for you, the gift of transformation.
Indeed, my friends, behold this bowl of sweet fruit of you for transition. But, O shining ones, a question. Where will you and your mate travel to in the moons to come?
This is not difficult. We will retreat, seek refuge in the womb of the earth for the time being.
Indeed, we will rest but for a moment in the dark world, before we emerge on the other side of this beautiful planet, awaiting to be greeted there in their festival of Beltane. But dear Lady of the Ravens, a question. What will you do when taking over the rule?
Not hard. We will turn the leaves gold, and we will hush the land to a misty silence. We will lay a blanket of snow on some parts and just cool down others. The plants will safe keep their juices in their roots, and many an animal will sleep until your return.
There will be much silence and reflection. The people will make fires and sit around them, sing, play their harps, and tell tales small and great. But Belenus, great shining one, a question. Will you leave us for good in the coming moons?
This is not difficult. I will still be seen by the people of the northern lands when I travel across the sky every day high above the southern ones. But the former will not feel us as much of my warmth. That I am sure of.
My dark lord, these are important words, and we must always remember them. But now we, my radiant consort and I, are weary from our travels, and our bellies grumble. A question, what have you prepared for us to eat?
Not hard. A dozen roasted boars from the dark forest, milk from the white cows with red ears, baskets full of parsnips and pumpkins from the now barren fields, a stone of fried salmon from the sacred pond, hazelnuts by the handful, bread enough to feed the full host of the Fianna, and mead as much as you desire.
Indeed, we've been preparing a banquet for you since the fires of Beltane last, knowing that you would come back to meet again. Tarry with us, therefore, until the both of you have recovered from the fatigues of your journey and have been anointed. But a harbinger of light, a question. Will what we have prepared still your appetite and thirst?
You're muted, Blake.
This is not difficult. It is more than my lady and I can ever eat. We should share our bounty and plenty with others.
Indeed, there is room and bounty for many more, and your hall should be filled with music and the chatter of many a soul. O dark ones, a question. Who should join us for this feast?
Not hard. Many of the beloved ones of our human friends have departed into shadow this year past. Let us invite them and have them sit with us at table for a last meal.
This is a good suggestion, but they are on the other side of the mound, behind the thin veil of mist. O God of light, a question. How should we invite these who have departed?
This is not difficult. I know some who ken us, who have the strength, the understanding, and the knowledge to have a foot in both of our worlds. The humans call them Bards, Ovates, and Druids. Let us contact these folk and request them to extend the invitation.
O bards, ovates, and druids, listen to our call and hear us now. We have a feast prepared for those of your beloved who departed into shadow in the year past. We pray you invite them to join us for a grandiose meal.
Friend, can you hear? Voices are calling from the mist, from across the veil.
Friend, I can hear them now. It is the rulers over life and death that have come together in the land of the others on this day between time. What do they say?
They want us to call upon those who died in the year past to join them for a feast.
Herald, we bid you extend this invitation to folks near and far, for it is a time for us to have our departed loved ones gather in the halls of Samhain for a last meal.
Once again, dear friends, north and south, east and west, fellow members of the order and guests, this is the time when you can name any and all of your family or friends who have departed in the past year, either quietly to yourself or, if you so choose, publicly in the chat for them to be honored and remembered. Bowing our heads, we will observe 3 minutes of silence.
It is done. We have honored those who have become our ancestors in the year past. Hail to you, loved ones, and hail to you, O spirits of life and death. We bid you farewell, O bright and shining ones, for the time being, and welcome your rule, O dark ones, for the next 6 months.
It is the hour of recall. May the fire we have lit today be relit in our heart. May our memories hold what eye and ear have gained. We swear by peace and love to stand, heart to heart and hand in hand. Mark, O Spirit, and hear us now, confirming this, our sacred vow.
We have opened the gateway to the 4 directions at the beginning of this ritual. Let us close them now and let them be thanked for their blessings.
In the name of the great bear of the starry sky and of the element of earth, we thank the powers of the north.
In the name of the salmon of wisdom and the element of water, we thank the powers of the west.
In the name of the great stag and the element of fire, we thank the powers of the south.
In the name of the hawk of dawn and the element of air, we thank the powers of the east.
May the harmony of the land be complete.
May the blessings of the gods, spirits, and ancestors be always with us. I declare the ceremony of Samhain closed in the apparent world. May its inspiration continue within our beings. This ceremony ends in peace, as in peace it began. And now, as it is tradition to end the ceremony with an iced death rod, let us hear a poem recited by Tom.
Sometimes a Wild God, a poem by Tom Hirons, read by another guy named Tom. Sometimes a wild God comes to the table. He is awkward and does not know the ways of porcelain, of fork, and mustard and silver. His voice makes vinegar from wine. When the wild God arrives at the door, you will probably fear him. He reminds you of something dark that you might have dreamt, or the secret you do not want to be shared. He will not ring the doorbell. Instead, he scrapes with his fingers, leaving blood on the paintwork. Though primroses grow in circles round his feet, you do not want to let him in. You are very busy. It is late or early, and besides, you cannot look at him straight because he makes you want to cry. Your dog barks. The wild God smiles. He holds out his hand, and the dog licks his wounds, then leads him inside. The wild God stands in your kitchen. Ivy is taking over the sideboard. Mistletoe has moved into the lampshades, and wrens have begun to sing an old song in the mouth of your kettle. I haven't much, you say, and give him the worst of your food. He sits at the table bleeding. He coughs up foxes. There are otters in his eyes. When your spouse calls down, you close the door and tell them it's fine. You will not let them see the strange guest at your table. The wild god asks for whiskey, and you pour a glass for him, then a glass for yourself. 3 snakes are beginning to nest in your voice box. You cough. Oh, limitless space. Oh, eternal mystery. Oh, endless cycles of death and birth. Oh, miracle of life. Oh, the wondrous dance of it all. You cough again, expectorate the snakes, water down the whiskey, wondering how you got so old and where your passion went. The wild god reaches into a bag made of moles and nightingale skin. He pulls out a 2-reeded pipe, raises an eyebrow, and all the birds begin to sing. The fox leaps into your eyes. Otters rush from the darkness. The snakes pour through your body. Your dog howls, and upstairs your spouse both weeps and exults at once. The wild god dances with your dog. You dance with the sparrows. A white stag pulls up a stool and bellows hymns to enchantments. A pelican leaps from chair to chair. In the distance, warriors pour forth from their tombs. Ancient gold grows like grass in the fields. Everyone dreams the words of long forgotten songs. The hills echo and the gray stones ring with laughter and madness and pain. In the middle of the dance, the house takes off from the ground. Clouds climb through the windows. Lightning pounds its fists on the table, and the moon leans in. The wild god points to your side. You are bleeding heavily. You have been bleeding for a long time, possibly since you were born. There is a bear in the wound. Why did you leave me to die? Asks the wild god. And you say, I was busy surviving. The shops were all closed. I didn't know how. I'm sorry. Listen to them. The foxes in your neck, and the snakes in your arms, and the wren and the sparrow and the deer. The great unnameable beasts in your liver and your kidneys and your heart. There is a symphony of howling, a cacophony of dissent. The wild god nods his head, and you wake on the floor holding a knife, a bottle, and a handful of black fur. Your dog is asleep on the table. Your spouse is stirring far above. Your cheeks are wet with tears. Your mouth aches from laughter or shouting. A black bear is sitting by the fire. Sometimes a wild god comes to the table. He is awkward and does not know the ways of porcelain, of fork, of mustard and silver. His voice makes vinegar from wine and brings the dead to life. Fini.
That was beautiful, Tom. Absolutely beautiful. So I just want to, our ceremony is at an end, and this is an opportunity for everybody to say goodbye. So starting with Rick.
Good night. Thank you.
George.
Good night, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are.
Dawn. You need to unmute.
Samhain blessings to all of you. Thank you for joining.
Blake and Gwen.
A blessing to you. May the cauldron of Alwyn continue to flow through you.
May the blessings of the ancestors of blood, spirit and tradition, and the land be upon you. I bid you farewell.
Jada.
Samhain blessings to you all, your beloved, here in the present world and beyond.
Sound blessings. Thank you, Gorha Maragut. Have a wonderful night.
Adios. Au revoir. Our feet are stained. Cheers from Boston.
And lastly from me, thank you all for joining, also on behalf of the Mystic River Grove. And I bid you farewell. Thank you.
So, oh, sorry. I'm trying to, sorry about that. Thank you all for joining us for this Samhain ceremony. It was an absolutely beautiful ceremony, and judging from your comments, that you think so too. So may you be well until we meet again, and that will be for our online winter gathering, which will be on Saturday, the 18th of December. And we will be having our, we'll start another cycle with our online ceremonies for the Wheel of the Year on that day. And that will be at 4 p.m. Universal Time. So in the meantime, be well, take care of yourself as you go into the dark time of the year. Enjoy the stillness, the restrictions, and allow the earth and the darkness to care for you. So until we meet again, Slán go fóill.
Breezes blow through the woods in springtime, roots drink deep from the wakened earth. Young leaves shine in the quickening sunlight, dance the song of the New Year's birth. The dance goes on and is never ending. The circle turns and the singer sings. The year turns round, but the wood in springtime does not care what the winter brings. The dance goes on and is never ending. The circle turns and the singer sings. The year turns round, but the wood in springtime does not care what the winter brings. When the leaves are long in the days of summer and the light drifts through them cool and green, the great trees stir in their dreaming sleep and sing slow tales of the years they've seen. The dance goes on and is never ending. The circle turns and the tale unfolds. The year turns on, but the wood in summer has no thought for the winter's cold. The dance goes on and is never ending. The circle turns and the tale unfolds. The year turns on, but the wood in summer has no thought for the winter's cold. Blackberry, hazel and elderberry hang heavy and bright in the shortening days. Bright as a banner, the autumn leaves burn red red in the old sun's dying rays. The dance goes on and is never ending. The circle turns and returns again. The year burns on and the wood in autumn gathers itself for the winter's pain. The dance goes on and is never ending. The circle turns and returns again. The year burns on and the wood in autumn gathers itself for the winter's pain. When winter bites and the leaves have fallen, through the hawthorn cold winds run, through dwindling days, the cool-leaved holly keeps safe the memory